Hey YouTubers, and I say tubers in the potato-y sense of the word. Um, my last video was a little too serious, so I thought I'd lighten it up a little bit. I want to talk to you about original sin. I know it doesn't sound like a lighter topic, but to me it is, because everything about Christianity is funny, laughable. Let me start out by saying that my take on original sin, my understanding of it, is that in the beginning God created two intelligent people, two inquisitive human beings capable of learning. He put them into a lush garden where all their needs would be taken care of, and then as a sadistic counterpoint, he put a supposed tree of knowledge, which is, allegory for, he put within them the capability of losing their innocence in the garden. He did this by way of a temptation to test them and test their obedience. In other words, he gave them a situation in which it was impossible for them to succeed. They had to do it. They had to look because they were curious. And when they failed, God pointed a horny lightning bolt finger at them and said, not only are you fucked, but every person that you have, every person on the planet from here on in is fucked as well. And he also puts a talking serpent. Now, he made this talking serpent. He puts it there with Adam and Eve as an extra little jab of temptation, and has this talking serpent tell Eve, oh yeah, it's good shit, man. You got to do this. Taste this fruit. It'll be okay. God won't mind. And then when this innocent creature performs as she was made to perform, and by association Adam does the same thing, they're banned from paradise. Eve is given the period, the monthly cycle, and we're supposed to believe that this sin of gaining knowledge doomed the rest of humanity. Now, what does that say about God? Okay, let's look at this. First of all, God is a dick, because just try to imagine for a second if you were hungry. I don't mean a little bit hungry, I mean ravenously hungry. You hadn't eaten in 2 or 3 days. And I put you in a beautiful posh hotel room with all the amenities, the widescreen TV, whirlpool bath and all that shit, sauna, whatever you like. And I put a table in there that was loaded down with your favorite foods in the whole world. And I told you, this hotel room is yours. You can stay in it as long as you like, but you're not allowed to eat. What if I did that as a test of your loyalty to me? What would that make me? That's right, a dick. Okay, that's comparable to what God did to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Secondly, if Adam and Eve started out as innocents and the serpent tempted them, wasn't it the serpent's fault? The third thing that enters into this is God is supposed to be omnipotent. He's supposed to know the outcomes of everything before it happens. Even the free choice thing doesn't let him out of that clause. So what kind of a asshole is he to allow Adam and Eve to fail and then to doom humanity to being sinful from then on in, essentially? And then, a couple of thousand years later, or however many years the fairy tale says later, God says, I'm going to send myself down there as a human being, and I'm going to perform a blood sacrifice. Because I want to give people a way to redeem themselves from all this sin. What sin? If my great-great-great-grandfather stole a horse, should I be held to blame? How's that fair? But anyway, he comes down as Jesus. He gets nailed to a cross in a blood sacrifice. And before you Christians start clucking and saying, that's not a blood sacrifice. Yes, it is. It's a blood sacrifice by every single definition of that term. Okay, then he sends himself down in this blood sacrifice, but there's a catch. As there always a catch with God. Always a catch. And this time the catch is, you have to believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that he sacrificed himself for your sins. Two things that are clearly unbelievable to a rational person. First of all, a rational person doesn't subscribe to the idea that they're sinful. And then there's the the thing where a rational person doesn't see a stringy-haired guy with sandals saying he's God as being anything truthful. And then thirdly, the whole blood sacrifice thing is unappealing to just about everybody except brainwashed Christians. So anyway, the catch is you've got to believe, or, and this is the kicker, or you're going to burn in hell. Let's examine what hell is. Hell is something God came up with, a flaming pit of torture that he would cheerfully put you into for the rest of eternity if you don't believe in him. Okay, the concept of hell is evil. And I don't even have to go into the explanation for that because it just is. It's fucking evil. I don't care how you try to remove God from the earthly common sense paradigm. No matter how you stretch it or look at it or paint it or doll it up, the idea of hell is evil. It's just evil. And the idea that God makes imperfect creatures knowing that they're going to fuck up so he can chuck them into a pit of flames is not only sadistic, but it's clearly unbelievable. It's another nail in the belief coffin. Now, Christians will pound you over the head with this. They will say, God's wisdom is beyond our understanding. No, it isn't. There is only our understanding. Period. We invented God. Otherwise, he wouldn't be such a flawed piece of shit. He wouldn't be a petulant, namby, tantrum-throwing, clench-fist, tight-assed asshole who got butthurt because two people disobeyed him those many eons ago. So, original sin? That's bullshit. And, really, Christianity, the whole thing, it's crap. It's just another tool that a bunch of control freak people use to get your money and to control your behavior. And, you know what I think of that?